The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. Africans, we are the only ones that can save ourselves. There is nobody that will come here to set us free. For decades that we declared our independence, yet economically, we are still backwards. We are still here waiting and calling for people to come and set us free, which is not going to happen. According to our brother, Dr. Mbuyu Seni, Africans, we do not have any justification to the reason to which we are still not moving forward and we are still backwards and in poverty. That we have the strength to fight among ourselves, tribal wars. We have the strength to steal each other. We have the strength to unalive each other. We have the strength to do everything. But we do not have the same strength to our economic growth. We do not have the same power to fight for the development and the change that we want to see in Africa. That we are still doing everything possible to make sure that people still benefit outside of the African continent. So whatever we have do not benefit us. And we'll do everything in our power to protect whatever we have here so that other people will come into the continent to take it away from us.
After 50 years of independence, here in Tanzania, it has been over 60 years. What justification do we still have to blame the West and former colonizers for our underdevelopment? How come we find it easy to steal from each other, even money meant for medication, for the sickly, to arrest and imprison each other over ideas, kill each other over ethnic differences? Yet we do not have the same determination to solve the economic problems that face us. We gather here at the University of Dar es Salaam, the University of President Magufuli, Museveni, Kikwete, Mkapa, and many of Africa's finest sons and daughters in science, literature, and the arts. Our duty in gathering tonight is to rise to Mwalimu's challenge, which is the central tenet of African Renaissance, of the African Renaissance project. To renew Africa, first and foremost, is to accept the inevitable, eternal, and urgent truth. No one is coming to save this continent. Africans, you are on your own. We are on our own. Self-reliance is the ability to depend on ourselves for the needs like food, shelter, and economic stability without external aid. Africans taking control of their resources, decisions, and development. At this moment, Africa is totally reliant for this sustenance on other peoples of the world. Meaning for at least the past 50 years, in some post-colonial dispensations, we are speaking about much more. We have volunteered ourselves, our destiny, our future to others in the world, which is the greatest form of self-damification in the whole world. After 50 years of independence, here in Tanzania, it has been over 60 years. What justification do we still have to blame the West and former colonizers for our underdevelopment? How come we find it easy to steal from each other, even money meant for medication, for the sickly, to arrest and imprison each other over ideas, kill each other over ethnic differences? Yet we do not have the same determination to solve the economic problems that face us. How come we don't mobilize the West in the economic distribution of self-hate and self-division amongst each other? And yet when it comes to the positive development and the resolution of poverty, inequality, industrialization, our leaders have the audacity to say it is the West that is holding their hands and feet from developing our communities. Yet we do not have the same determination as well for a self-reliant Africa in mining, manufacturing, communication, digital technologies, infrastructure, healthcare, and education. We know that Africa relies on imports for many consumer goods, with only 20% of food imports coming from other countries. For manufactured goods, the continent produces just 2%, suggesting low share of locally consumed products are made in Africa. Close to 90% of our pharmaceutical products come from outside of the continent. 80% of antiretrovirals being imported mostly from Europe, India, and China. This means we cannot heal ourselves. We cannot clothe ourselves. We cannot even drive ourselves. All the cars that we used coming here are not produced in the continent. We have wars in at least each of the regions of the continent. Yet well over 90% of those guns and ammunitions don't come from this continent. And out of the destruction of our lives is the profiteering of the international military-industrial complex based elsewhere. We don't even have the means to kill ourselves. But killing we are doing. Even in thieving, the majority of the thieving in the population is not local thieves here in Africa. Through illicit financial outflows, you are even outdone in thieving by the Western thieves in Europe as well as North America. I'm not saying that we must compete in criminality. Our call here, therefore, today is a simple one. The genesis of our freedom is we must be responsible for ourselves. This is the true meaning of liberation. This is the true meaning of freedom. The capacity to be responsible for ourselves. So why are we here today? We are here to start a rebellion. We are here to repeat after Mwalimu that education is not a way of escaping poverty. It is not a way of escaping the country's poverty. It is a way of fighting against poverty. Development as rebellion. Your education here must lead you to rebel against the spirit of mimicry of the West, the spirit of plunder and of war. The intellectual academic project must employ the scientific tools, not in pursuit of Western questions and problems, but it must employ scientific tools to answer the questions of Tanzania, of Zambia, of Uganda, of the DRC, and the rest of the diaspora. We must fight against every obstacle, regardless of who puts that obstacle. Even if that obstacle is put by ourselves, each and every obstacle that denies us to be responsible for our freedom, to be responsible for our destiny, to account for ourselves, it must be crushed once and for all. You must refuse to live in the conditions in which you cannot be proud of yourself. The people who steal in this continent, the people who steal the resources of this continent, the people who self-enrich out of government money are low self-esteem driven, mimic driven zombies who are looking out to become part of the Western culture of consumerism. If we're going to be proud of this continent, first things first, I want to belong to a street that I love. I want to belong to a college that I can be proud of. That when I'm in Europe and they try to look down on me, I don't think twice because I've got a home to go to, and that home is a home to be proud of. Over the last few decades, our continent has fractured. And the best example is the Trump war, in which the African continent couldn't constitute an agenda in a united form to say, not in our name. You're not going to bully anyone from Cape to Cairo, regardless of whether you are running the most powerful country and military in the world. We're going to die together because we have lived together, we were oppressed together, we are hated together. You come to us as a united force, as Africans in the world. We We must refuse all efforts to turn Africa against each other. Anybody that turns an African against each other is not part of us. Anyone who wants to do business with us must respect this objective, that we want to be self-reliant. If you want to get our gold, whether you are China, India, Brazil, the United States, or Europe, you must respect this important principle that we want to be self-reliant. So if you want to take our gold, if you want an exchange of our gold, you must know that you will have to come with a trade deal that allows us to attain self-reliance in the entire gold chain, the chain in the gold trade. If you want our rare earth minerals, you must give us a trade deal that allows us to empower local manufacturing of digital technologies, including building high-speed internet in universities and public facilities. There must be internet everywhere, in the bedroom, in the dormitories, in the canteen, because learning is like a spirit. It can awake anytime. And when it awakes and that fire comes, you must be able to tap into the universal portal of knowledge and science.
But why is it that these same leaders can do everything? Their hands are not tied. They can go any length to do anything to anybody, yet their hands are not tied. But when it comes to the point of development, mobilizing ourselves for a resolution out of poverty, that one, they say their hands are tied. They will start pointing fingers at the West. Why do you have the power to do all these things? Yet, when it comes to where there will be positive development and a change, that place, your hands are always tied. This should tell us that our leaders, if they truly want a change, can actually call for a change. But because the same system from the West is benefiting them, that is why they always keep quiet, cover things up, and act in the interest of the West. Because they know very well that if they should do this, the masses will benefit. Then why is it that when it comes to Africa being self-reliant, our leaders do not want to channel the energy there? Digitalization, communication, infrastructure, turning our natural resources into finished goods. When it comes to all these things, these leaders do not have the strength to do that, because they are also benefiting from the system that their masters left for them. You saw that they are dining with other leaders who are not doing anything to change the narrative in their respective countries, even though they are changing the constitutions against the will of the people. We have to rise up and fight for that better Africa we are looking for. As Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso are calling for us to be self-sovereign in every aspect, you see that these leaders will continue to be moving towards these people because they claim and believe they are the reason to which we are surviving. So they have also helped turn the narrative to we the citizens, and today the African do not know how rich the continent is, so that we'll channel our energy into fighting for that better Africa that we want to see. We will be the only ones that can save ourselves. There is no other person that is benefiting from Africa that will give you the self-freedom you want. And if we continue to leave Africa in the hands of our leaders, we should know we'll never get anywhere, because these ones are there to serve their masters. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world and in Africa.